YouTube. I'm the Dark Knight right now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm kind of cold, so I'm wearing my Bat logo jacket with the bat ears and everything. But anyway, this will be my, my reaction rant to Arrow Season 4, Episode 17, titled Beacon of Hope. And the sad thing is, I missed like half an hour of the episode. I was like, shit! Because, like, I'm waiting for 8 o'clock, and then all of a sudden, you know, while I'm waiting, I was trying to, like, pass time, and I passed too much time, because by the time I noticed, it was, like, 8:20 something. I was like, damn, I missed half an hour of that show already. I'm like, holy crap. But anyway, I caught up on the app. Haha. But anyway, Beacon of Hope, I was really looking forward to this one, particularly because it's the return of Emily Kinney as Brie Larvin. And we all know that I love Emily Kinney, and the fact that I'm, like, 21 minutes late to the episode where she's in really bummed me out, but I caught up on the CW app, so hey, CW app, hey. But anyway, apparently Brie Larvin orchestrates her release from prison and travels all the way to Star City because she's searching for the biomechanical chip that pretty much was being used by Felicity to help her walk. So, Brie pretty much attacks Palmer Tech, you know, with bees and everything, and holds the entire board of trustees there hostage. And, Felicity is there with her mother, and apparently she's also there with Thea. So, like, Felicity, Mama Smoke, and Thea are in another room while the little board of trustees are held hostage somewhere else in the boardroom in Palmer Tech. And, she holds them hostage until Felicity turns herself over. So, because apparently, you know, Felicity, her mom, and Thea are in hiding somewhere else around the floors. And, while that's happening, Curtis manages to track down Oliver's hideout, aka the Arrow Cave, and at the same time discovers his secret. Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow. And he finds out about Black Canary, Spartan, and all that, and, he offers his help to the team in order to save Felicity's mom, Mama Smoke herself, and of course, Thea. And as we all know, Mama Smoke is the girlfriend of Papa Lance. Hey! So of course, naturally, he's in the cave with Diggle, Laurel, and Oliver. And so it was really cool seeing Curtis actually help out with the team, because we all know Curtis in the Arrowverse is the TV version of who we all know from the Justice League as Mr. Terrific. And it's really cool seeing him actually somewhat active with the team. I want to see more of it. But, it was really interesting seeing his interaction with not just the team, but when Oliver gets a head-first, experience of, Curtis's happy mode. You know how Curtis is always happy. Sorry, my ears are like all kinds of fucked. But anyway, you know how Curtis is always happy-go-lucky, always seeing the good in everything. And I guess that kind of rubbed Oliver the wrong way, because it's kind of like when the Flash team first came to Star City. You know, they're always bright and shiny, always looking positive and everything, but the moment they go to Star City for the first time, they kind of see the darkness of Star City. They kind of see what happens when you get things wrong, you know. Basically, Oliver and his team pretty much show Team Flash the dark and gritty part about being a superhero, right? And so Oliver did the same thing with Curtis because of Curtis's happy-go-lucky attitude, which I think, you know, his little attitude, Curtis's happy-go-lucky attitude would fit mostly with the Flash team. I'm just saying. But anyway, seeing him work there with Team Arrow would be really cool, like a first step. It would be really cool if it was like a first stepping stone to him being Mr. Terrific, because, yeah, that would be bomb. But anyway, the team manages to arrive at Palmer Tech to try to save Felicity, her mother, and Thea, and the rest of the board. But once they get there, Oliver is stung by one of Brie's robotic bees. So they have to take him back to the hideout to save him. What I thought was really interesting was the fact the bees gathered together and created a bee man. You guys saw that, right? I'm like, since when was this a thing? You know what I mean? Is it because, you know, technically Brie Larvin in the comics was technically a dude? I mean, the Bug-Eyed Bandit was, in fact, in the comics a guy, and they gender swapped him for the show. Well, the Flash, but you know what I mean. Like, they gender swapped Bug-Eyed Bandit for the Arrowverse. Is it because they gender swapped it to be a female in the Arrowverse that they had to make the bees turn into a man-bot thing going on? I don't know, but that bee-bot, pretty damn sick, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, yeah, Oliver getting stung by the bees. Back at the hideout when they're trying to take the bee out, Curtis actually realizes that the bee sting actually was a bee that actually implanted himself inside Oliver's body. And not only is he buzzing around in Oliver's body, he's replicating himself in his body, which is like no bueno, because the more he replicates, the more he can like tear Oliver inside out, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, this got dark so quickly, you know? Like, one bee. When you thought you got stung by a bee, and it turns out the bee embeds itself inside of you and is multiplying and could possibly tear you apart from the inside because it's multiplying. That was utterly disturbing. To me that was utterly disturbing. How the replication thing, because it could replicate so much that it could just burst out of his body. You know what I mean? So yeah, gross, very gross. But anyway, of course Bree gets a more darker turn here in Arrow, because she wasn't that bad. She wasn't that dark in the Flash when we first see her, but the moment she comes to Star City and the Arrowverse right here, the Team Arrow, she got 10 times darker. Just saying. But anyway, they figured out that Laurel's canary cry could actually disrupt the frequency controlling the bees. So they all, you know, like, headphones on, canary cry, stop the frequency and all the bees and Oliver so they don't have to, like, multiply in him. So it actually does work because she uses her canary cry, disrupts all kinds of controlling frequency on the bees to save Oliver's life, which I thought was hella crazy. What happened to the bees, though? Did they just... I know that the canary cry stopped their frequency and everything, but does that mean that Oliver has a bunch of little non-working machine bees inside his body just floating around, or did the canary cry blow all of them up inside his body? I don't know. But how does that work? I'm just asking you guys. Put that in the comment section, like, what happened to the bees when the canary cry cut off the frequency? Like, did they blow up in his body, or are they all just like little bee bots in his body just floating around not working anymore in his body? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Anyway, Felicity, with some quick thinking with Thea and her mother, was able to get this, Curtis's little terrific bombs. You know those little bomb things that have a giant T in the middle? Yeah, those are Curtis's, and she uses them to, when she gets inside the elevator, she uses them to create a hole in the wall to get to the boardroom and evacuate all the board members out of the building. But as she evacuates all the board members and evacuates Mama Smoke out of the building, leaving just Felicity and Thea, Bree pretty much corners them because she wants, you know, the chip. Because she's like, I want that chip that's inside you. Because apparently Bree reveals that the only reason why she's after the chip is because apparently she has a tumor in her vertebrae. And the tumor or surgery, either way, is going to leave her paralyzed waist down. So she wants that chip. So regardless of what happens, she could walk again just like, you know, Felicity did, right? And, while Thea's reluctant to pretty much telling Felicity not to tell Bree where it is, Felicity tells where the chip is. And while that's all happening, it turns out that Bree, while she's hacking and stuff, getting all the specs for the chip, she finds out that Felicity is the same hacker that pretty much sent her to jail in the Flash show that she was on. So, because of that, she's like, oh, you're the hacker I met in Central City. You're the one who put me in jail. I'm gonna kill you now, right? So so that happens. It's like Bree versus Felicity and Thea, and finally, like, Team Arrow manages to come back and save Thea and Felicity from Bree, with the help of Curtis, who manages to develop a virus to shut down the bees and pretty much turn the bees against Bree and stop her completely. Which I thought was badass. Hang on. Sorry about that, guys. I'm watching the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. But anyway, yeah, Curtis manages to develop a virus to shut down the bees and turn it against Bree. And it turns out that she's now in a somewhat coma because of her own bees attacking her. So, that was a very interesting thing to see, you know, like, this episode got me some feels because, you know, seeing Curtis have another stepping stone in becoming his Mr. Terrific persona, which is pretty cool to see. But at the end of the episode, we see him come back to, I think, his apartment. I want to say apartment, his home, with his boyfriend, and, you know, it sounded like he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. You know, he got a taste of it, and he's like, you know what, that's it. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And I really hope it isn't the end of Curtis being part of the team, considering Felicity herself is apparently no longer working with the team. I really hope that maybe Curtis might take her place a little bit and actually take the role of Mr. Terrific, despite the fact that, you know, it sounded like when he was discussing with his boyfriend that he wasn't going to do it anymore. But, I really hope that it's not the end of him helping the team. I want him to take on Mr. Terrific persona, you know? But at the same time, judging by how his boyfriend's reaction to everything, I really hope that if he does continue it somehow, some way, that it doesn't cause a strain in his relationship. Because I like his relationship, it's cute. But anyway, also during this episode, we also see the flashback. Oliver goes after Raider, along with that one lady, I forgot her name already. And Raider actually reveals that the idol that they hid away from him in the little catacomb, I want to say catacombs, but those little tunnels. Apparently the idol has already been giving Raider, you know, the idol has already started granting Raider some mystical powers. And, you know, as they're fighting, Raider's powers are starting to decline to the point where Oliver was able to knock him out and check on that one lady friend of his, but after she checks that she's okay and she's awake, they find out that Raider has disappeared and escaped through the tunnels. So, I'm wondering why the idol didn't stick, the powers didn't stick very long with Raider. The powers that the idol granted Raider, I don't know why it didn't stick very long. I'm actually wondering about that, and as I said, I want to see Curtis actually continue on helping the team and become Mr. Terrific. And I'm hoping that doesn't cause any strain with his relationship with his boyfriend. I'm really hoping that Felicity does still come back as Overwatch for the team. I'm hoping and praying. And it was really cool seeing Bree. I really like Emily as a villain. Emily looks really cool as a villain, and I know they said that she's possibly comatose because of the attack on the bees. I really hope that, you know, she comes back, because I liked Emily as a villain in the Arrowverse. So, yeah, that is my reaction rant to episode 17, season 4 of Arrow, Beacon of Hope, and let's look forward to episode 18, because I saw the preview and it actually involves Diggle's brother. Speaking of which, I saw at the end that Malcolm was talking to somebody about how everyone that was pretty much concerning Damien Dark and all that stuff, and he's like, I was going to go on with the plan even without Damien. I was hoping you could be my ace in the hole, and if the person Malcolm's actually talking to is revealed to be Diggle's little brother, so I am concerned right now. I really am. It's like, no! No! I was starting to trust you, little Diggle! No! I got so mad at the screen because we were starting to trust little Diggle. You know, he helped out after, oh my god. And the fact that he got to meet his niece. I really started trusting little Diggle. I was really hoping. Anyway, oh my god, I'm running out of time. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!